Hello, welcome. Did you know that we already use robots for space, machines, and undersea exploration? Well, today we might be using robots for dangerous exploration, but in future they might be used in many fields. Well, a robot might just help you drive a car or cook dinner for you. So, robotics is an expanding field and it has been venturing into so many segments, so many sectors, and so many industries. If you have not considered a career in robotics yet, the role models and the information that we are going to share in this video might help you do your research and probably consider robotics as one of your potential careers in future. Well, robotics is an expanding field. It has a lot of job opportunities right now and in future as well. We're going to dwell into this topic of robotics as a career in this video, and we're going to discuss a lot many details as follows. Like, we will describe what is robotics all about, where all robotics are being applied, what are the various industries, which are the potential employers, and who are those, what are the recruitments that are going to take place, and what are some of the facts and figures, the statistics about robotics field. And not only that, as I mentioned earlier, we're going to talk about some of the role models who have created wonders in the research of the field of robotics and then made their careers as a fruitful, and that should serve as a good information for you. And not only that, we will most importantly talk about what are the various courses at an undergraduate and postgraduate level, and what are the entry eligibility requirements for all of them, and we'll look at them as well. And last but not least, we will also look at the earning potential. What are the different levels? What are the career prospects? What are the various roles that are there possible in the field of robotics? So let's get going and then see what do we have, the details in this video. Career in robotics. So let's dwell into this topic and then see what do we have. And I would like to start with a famous quote by Nikola Tesla many years ago. He mentioned, in the 21st century, the robot will take the place which slave labor occupied in ancient civilization. So what does it mean? The labor work, the routine, mundane type of repeated type of work will be taken over by robot. He said it many years ago, and we have been witnessing that in the recent past. Now, if you go and begin with what is robotics all about? Robotics, it's basically, it involves the design, construction, operation and use of robots. That's pretty evident and it's easy to understand, and I think most of us would know about it. It also develops machines that can substitute humans or replicate human actions, but there is certain limitation. They can't do a creative kind of work, at least based on the technology that is available as on day to day. They can't be emotional. They can't have that sense of achievement. There are many limitations, but human touch cannot be replaced. But the routine, mundane type of task that a human is doing will be taken over by robots. And the goal of robots is to design machines that can assist and help humans. That's the primary objective of robots. And from a career or from an academic standpoint, if we look at it, it's an interdisciplinary branch of computer science and various other engineerings, which involves, and in fact it integrates the field of mechanical, electrical, information, mechatronics, electronics, bioengineering, computer engineering, control engineering, software engineering, and mathematics as well. And of course there are many other disciplines that integrates into the field of robotics. So that's primarily what robotics is for us. And if you go a little further, it's a multidisciplinary field, as we discussed earlier, which involves primarily design, development, programming, and operation of robots. And they are autonomous. Robots are autonomous or semi-autonomous machines designed to perform tasks in various environments, especially in the large, critical missions where a human cannot go in person and then do. So robots are going to play a significant role, my friends. Now, as we move on and see what are the various roles and responsibilities of different titles that we have in this field, in the field of robotics. Now, as you see on your screen, you have this robotics engineer, software engineer, systems integrator, research scientist, robotic technician, and many more. So let's quickly jump into each one of them and then see. The one who designs and builds robotic systems, including mechanical components, sensors, actuators, and control algorithms. So essentially, the robotics engineer is the one who designs, build robotic systems, including mechanical components, sensors, actuators, and control algorithms. Look at what all are involved. It involves electronics, it involves computers, it involves mechanical. So it's a combination. A software engineer, typically a software engineer does a lot of work, but what they do is specifically in the field of robotics, they develop software and algorithms for robot control, the mechanical, the physical control of that machine, of that robot, navigation, the perception and decision making based on how it has to do or perform a specific task. And the next one, different roles and responsibilities we are talking about. Systems integrator, the one who integrates hardware and software components to create functional robotic systems. It's basically, they're called as systems integrator. They act as a medium, as an amalgamation of both software and hardware together to eventually produce that result. Now further, there are research scientists in the field of robotics, likewise in any field, who conducts research in the field of robotics. They explore the way of new algorithms, creating new algorithms, techniques, and applications. And last but not least, of course, we are going to look at as many details as possible as we dwell into this further. So robotics technician, the one who performs maintenance, troubleshooting the physical equipment, the physical robots, especially in the industrial settings. They are the ones who are going to work at the shop floor level. These are some of the roles and responsibilities that are commonly we see across in the field of robotics. The robotics engineer, systems integrator, software engineer, research scientist, and robotic technician. And what are the specific skills that are required for someone to be successful in this field, or what are those academic credentials that one need to put up? Mechanical, electrical, software development, robot developing algorithms, and sensor fusion. These are some of the specific skills. The one who know about the knowledge about mechanics, materials, design principles, which will help them build a robot hardware. The one who understands the circuit, sensors, actuators, and control systems can actually deal with the nervous system of that robot, if I have to call it that way, electrical and electronics. And software development, proficiency of like programming languages, C++, Python, and all of that. So this is the one who trigger a task to it, who control it with the help of a software. And robotics algorithms. So kinematics, dynamics, and control theory of robot motion planning and manipulation. It is also very crucial, designing those algorithms and putting them into, integrating them. And sensor fusion, experience with integrating data from sensors such as cameras, LiDAR, and internal inertial measurement units, and so on. These are the specific skills. Then I'm getting detail into the technical credentials that one need to possess. So you will have to make sure that you do one of that discipline, one of those subjects that is involved into your academic courses. Let's go and look at typically what are some of the career paths in the field of this robotics. There are this entry level, mid level, senior level, and leadership roles, likewise in any other field. So we talked about few roles and responsibilities, areas, or careers, right? So now let's look at entry level positions: robotics engineer, intern, technician, junior software developer. Mid level, it's again robotics engineer, systems integrator, research assistant. Basically, you will grow from one level to the other. As a fresh graduate, depending on your qualification, if you are at an undergraduate level, you're likely to be placed as a junior software developer, as an intern, or a technician. But eventually, if you have a better, higher qualification or a little bit of experience, you will be elevated to those mid-level roles. And the next level is robotics, senior level positions: senior robotics engineer, lead software engineer, research scientist. So this would lead you, ideally, would lead an individual into these roles over a period of time with certain experience. And leadership roles, of course, it is not about CEO, CFO, or COO. It's also about CRO, Chief Robotics Officer, Director of Robotics Research, Head of Robotics Engineering. These are some of the titles, the tags that the corporates would give you as you eventually look for a career in this field. And where are these robotics applied? What are the industry applications? Look at various industries: manufacturing, healthcare, agriculture, logistics and warehousing, space exploration. Especially in space exploration, Mars rovers, robotic arms on the International Space Station, satellite servicing machines. Robots are doing this. And logistics and warehousing, automated guiding vehicles. If you look at Amazon warehouse or Flipkart warehouse, or for that matter any e-commerce giants, their warehouses, they have been using these robotics, pick and place systems from one place to the other, driving those autonomous or those carts around and picking up the material from one shelf to the other. Agriculture, there are autonomous tractors, drones to crop monitoring, spraying, robotic harvesters. Healthcare, surgical robots for minimally invasive surgery. Today it is become almost inevitable in any kind of surgeries, I mean largely, that a robotic arm or a robotic equipment is playing a key role in the hands of a surgeon or a doctor. And manufacturing and the assembly line, be it car manufacturing or truck manufacturing, anything that to do with an assembly lining, welding, painting and quality control, all of those areas are being the applications for robots. Now some of the challenges, there are certain challenges. Every field has got some pros and cons. Now here we're going to talk about some of the challenges in the field of robotics. Now safety, ensuring robots operate safely in human environments to prevent accidents and injuries. Now if you don't control, if you don't let the algorithm put it in a right place, if you don't trigger the right program, then it is unlikely that that will be a safest environment, especially when they are co-working with humans. And interoperability, integrating robots with existing systems and infrastructure to enable seamless operation. That is another challenging and this is another challenging task for the people who are developing these robots. They have to be very careful, otherwise the damage could be significant to the existing machines and systems and processes. Ethical and social implications, there's always a threat when a new technology evolution takes place. Humans are always under pressure, they're intimidated about their job security, their privacy and so on and so forth. So that there will be social implications and ethical implications. And uncertainty and adaptability, developing algorithms and control strategies that enable robots to adapt to dynamic and uncertain environments. So not everything can be certain in this world. There is definitely an uncertain, there is an unforeseen that always comes to us as a surprise. So that is another area of concern as a challenge when you look at robotics. While there are some challenges like any other field, the future outlook, if you look at the growing demand, technological advancements, collaborative robots, they called as cobots. The growing demand for the future in this field, the demand for robotics professionals is expected to increase as industries are adapting into automation, robotics and autonomous way of doing things and so on. There's a growing demand in every sector. Technology advancement, this nobody can stop. Especially in the AI and ML, the sensors and actuators are driving innovation in robotics. So robotics are going to perform more complex tasks and interact with humans very intelligently, more than ever that we have seen. And cobots, the rise of collaborative robots that can work alongside humans is opening up new opportunities for human-robot interaction and cooperation in various domains. So it is going to be man plus machine. It is not man versus machine. The future of work, the future we're going to sit in offices in the industrial settings or healthcare settings, it is man plus machine. The future is bright, my dear friends. If you wish to choose a career in the field of robotics, don't have to worry. And to support them, to support the future and I would like to quote some facts and figures, the statistics and the data points, so that this video serves you as a reference point. If you wish to make a career in the field of robotics, this is going to serve you as a reference point with a lot of data points. Now look at the global industrial robotics market size was valued $31.45 billion US dollars in 2020, and which is expected to reach almost more than double by 2028. And industrial robots are widely used in manufacturing, automotive, electronics, healthcare for tasks such as assembly, welding, material handling, quality inspection, performing these robotic surgeries, and so on. And not only that, the global service robotics market is expanding rapidly, driven by demand of robots in healthcare, agriculture, retail, hospitality, and logistics. We have been witnessing this already. And service robots are used for application such as surgical assistance, elderly care, warehouse automation, cleaning, and entertainment. Lately, I have come across a few interesting innovations in the robots. The one janitor's work is being taken over by robots, and typically some of the glass cleaning for a multi-story building, the outer layer of the glass cleaning is being done by robots. There are many other applications, many other areas that robotics are going to look at. Now, of course, research and development. And there are robotics research institutions and universities worldwide. They're conducting a lot of groundbreaking research such as human robot interaction, swarm robotics, soft robotics, and autonomous navigation. There's a lot of evolution that is taking place. And there are a lot of advances in robotics technology, including AI, actuators, materials. And they are the forces which are driving innovation and expanding the capabilities, my dear friends. So please take heed and do consider with all that information. Now let's dwell further and then see what are some of the careers and prospects. We briefly touched upon about the roles and responsibilities in the beginning of this video. Now we're going to touch a little more deeper about the career and prospects in the field. Now, typically robotics engineers, by now we know they design, build and program robotic systems. They work on projects such as industrial automation, autonomous vehicles, surgical robots, drones, and humanoid robots. So look at the industries, look at the sectors that you should get in your mind. And we're going to talk about some of those companies who are going to be the top employers or employers in the field as we get along. A robotic software engineer. They primarily focus on motion planning, sensor fusion, localization, path optimization. And further, embedded systems engineer, they call it as. These are the people who are specialized in designing and programming and embedded systems at a chip level, at a hardware level. Their primary objective, their primary work deliverable is like hardware integration, real-time control, sensor interfacing, and low-level programming. And human-robot interaction, the HRA specialists focus on designing and evaluating human-robot interaction. I quoted earlier that it is going to be man plus machine. It is not going to be man versus machine. And of course, the prospects, a growing market for robotics. We have seen it earlier. The markets are rapidly expanding, driven by advancement in technology, new evolution. All that is increasing the adaptation of robotics and robotic getting done through robotics. And as a result, robotics professionals are in demand for roles such as robotics engineer, robotic software developer, embedded systems engineer, and human robot interaction specialist. It's always when you are choosing this career, even in robotics, keep in mind it is not about today, it is about 10 years down the line, 15 years down the line, 20 years down the line. You need to look at whether you're going to be prospering in your career, enjoying your career and getting good pay and all. That's very crucial. It is not just about today. If you are an 8th, 9th, 10, 11, 12 grade student, or you're just an undergraduate student, if you are looking at this video, if you're watching this video, keep in mind that it's very important for you to understand it is about 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years down the line. It is not about today, it is about future. Okay, and of course, we have some of the prospects into diverse applications, which include industrial automation, healthcare, agriculture, consumer electronics. We have been emphasizing this time and again. They work in the robotic systems can address the real world challenges, my friends. And interdisciplinary collaboration with fields such as mechanical, electrical, computer science, they are a combination of there are a lot of prospects in with any of these backgrounds. So people from mechanical engineer, electrical, electronics engineering, computers engineering, or as a pure specialization from the robotics itself, they can come from the diverse backgrounds and contribute to the field of robotics. So the opportunities are more, my friends. Now let's look at some of the job prospects. Okay. Now, robotics engineer, the prospects, they are high demand due to increasing automation across industries. We have talked about this. We have been talking about this earlier also. And who are the industries who are going to recruit these robotics engineer? Especially the manufacturing, healthcare, automotive, aerospace, defense. And potential employers, the robotics companies, manufacturing firms, research institutions, and government agencies. And of course, as we move along, we're going to look at some of those, the list of employers at least. And robotic software engineer, of course, there's a growing demand overall for any skilled person in the field of robotics. And robotics companies, technology firms, and research labs are the industries where these robotic software engineers get recruited. Typically, the startups, tech giants, research institutions is where these people get hired. And engineer, automation engineers, especially in the manufacturing, logistics, and process industries. So the industries are logistics, food processing, pharmaceuticals, and manufacturing, who would recruit the automation engineer. Automation is there everywhere, even in IT sector, what not in every sector. And typically, the employers will be manufacturing companies, logistics firms, process automation companies. There are process automation companies exclusively who are working as consultants and enablers to many companies around the world. And further, research scientists, they can work in the research institutions, industry, research and development labs. Especially, most of them happens to be government agencies, technology companies. The technology giants have their own R&D divisions. So anybody at that capacity will be, be recruiting these people. And robotic technician, as we know, they are to maintain, install, and troubleshoot robotic systems and equipment. The critical on-ground, hands-on, practical guys. Manufacturing, manufacturing sector, logistics sector, healthcare, and automotive sectors. These are the industries which are going to be recruiting. And now, as we move on, and most important thing and most sort of asked question is, what is the earning potential? It is good to know the facts and figures, the careers and prospects, the roles and responsibilities, the skills required, and the background of robotics and the future outlook. But how much will I get paid? That's a crucial question, isn't it? Now here we are going to put it at a very high level. These numbers are picked up from the industry averages that have been practically existing. So robotics engineers and technicians typically earn about 50K to 80,000 US dollars per year, depending on the location and the industry. So it varies depending on the company. There is no this is just on an average numbers for you to get an idea. Now you may translate that into Indian rupees and then see how much it is. It may not be relatively at that level when you're working about in India. These are the global averages, especially calculated in US dollars. And somebody at a mid-level positions, they can get about 80K to 120K. You remember earlier career paths, the entry level, mid-level, and all those different positions we talked about, senior level and then management level, all that. This is an indication of how much you can earn. Now further, as you go senior level positions, as you get to those senior level roles where a senior technician, senior researcher, or a senior engineer, so it starts with about 120K to 200K per year depending on experience and expertise in the specific area, in the specific segment in the robotics again. And of course, as you move ahead with the leadership roles, you'll get to see these are the people who are the directors, and these are the people who actually run the show by managing a group of people, a group of divisions. They have the potential of 200 to 500K on an average per annum. So eventually you can grow with 5, 10, 15 years of experience or 700 years of experience. You can grow into the senior positions or leadership roles. I hope that gives an idea about the earning potential. Yes. Now let's look at what are some of those organizations or the typical employers who would actually recruit people. These are the robotics companies: Boston Dynamics, iRobot, ABB Robotics, QCA Robotics, Universal Robots, ClearPath Robotics, Fetch Robotics, Rethink Robotics, Fanuc Robotics, Yaskawa Motorman. So these are some of the robotic companies. You could look for these details, pick up these naming conventions, names, and then go to their websites and do a little bit of reading, studying, researching about these companies, and those happens to be the potential employers in the field of robotics. Now we talk about the research institutions. Mostly these are in an academia or government sponsored, as you look at primarily university consortiums and so on and so forth. So Carnegie Mellon, Stanford, Michigan University, University of Pennsylvania, and MIT, ETH Zurich, and many others as well, and University of California, all of that. So these are some of the research institutions, and not only that. And here is a list of prominent robotic startups: Roboteam, Savioki, Robotics, AI Robotics, Blue River Technology, Agility Robotics, Marble Robotics, Canvas Technology, Skydio, Bossa Nova Robotics, Raputa Robotics, and so on and so forth. These are a lot of robotic startups across the world who are catching up momentum, and these are some of the potential employers for those who want to pursue their career in the field of robotics, my friends. Now, having said that, the next we're going to look at is about the various undergraduate courses, the credentials that one need, to equip with. We want to look at those undergraduate courses. Well, as you see, the undergraduate courses comes in two segments. One is engineering, BE, BTech, typically engineering in robotics engineering, or Bachelor of Science in Robotics. So the entry criteria will be like you will have to have maths, physics, chemistry as your mainstream group for you to pursue this engineering or BSc, and the admission criteria is typically with the engineering entrance examinations, depending on national, institutional level or a state level engineering entrance examinations. And for the BSc course, typically it will be based on your 12th grade +2 merit, the 12th grade marks, and sometimes some institutions, at an institution level, they do some filtering based on their institution level entrance examination. And as I said, the eligibility criteria is physics, chemistry, and mathematics, and somebody who has got physics, chemistry, mathematics, and biology together, and a computer science as a subject together would also be eligible to pursue these robotics courses. And now I want you to be informed that many institutions, many colleges have been offering robotics as one of the specific topic in a specific engineering discipline. For example, computer science engineering, and there is robotics as a specific topic or as one paper, one exam paper. Similarly for other electronics and mechanical as well. And some courses are amalgamated purely focusing purely on the robotics engineering. That is a pure robotic specializations. Of course, they will teach you computer science, mechanical, electrical, electronics, and all a little bit, but primarily they are titling. So mindful, either of them is fine. But eventually, at a master's level, if you could specialize in the core subject of robotics, depending on what career you want to choose, what role you want to play, and there are these, MSc in robotics, ME, MTech in robotic engineering. Typically, you need to be eligible, to MTech or MS or ME kind of things when you're done with, undergraduation in engineering. And for MSc, either engineering or your BSc, Bachelor of Science, would be sufficient. So, yet again, if you've done a normal Bachelor of Science in Maths, Physics, Chemistry, or Computer Science, you can further do a specialization in robotics as you move along for your higher education. Now, here is a list of colleges that are offering robotic courses in India. And of course, there are IITs, they offer primarily BTech, MTech, and then there are BITS Filani, and there are SRM Institute and Vellore Institute of Technology, and they're quite popular about these, offering these with a specialization in robotics or robotics as a specialization, or with a traditional mechanical engineering and a specialization in robotics. Either way is fine. And some of the colleges to look at abroad, of course, the MIT, Stanford, Oxford, University of Tokyo, ETH Zurich, and all of that. So they are some of these are just an indicative list of colleges, and the college list is furthermore, whether it is a state level or an institution level or a national prominence gaining institutions, either of it. There is a lot of institutions who offer these courses. I would suggest you first decide whether you want to do a career in robotics or not, and then reach out to your mentor, counselor, and take help from them, and then see what are the various colleges, courses, disciplines that are being taught as a specializations at an undergraduate and post-graduation level. That makes sense. The idea of this video is to give you an indicative list of each of the segment for you to get. By the end of this video, you would be equipped with all kind of information, different dimensions of the robotics field. If you wish to make a career in robotics, this video will be serving you as an enabler to make your decision. Now let's look at further and then see who are some of those prominent figures and role models who are actually popular in this field. There are quite a few. I picked up a handful of them. No offense, again, there are a lot of other people. Look at this: Helen, Rodney, Raj Reddy, Daniela, Hiroshi Ishiguro, Gil Pratt, Mac Raybert, Ayana, Cynthia, Sebastian. These are some of the prominent, depending on what they have contributed in this field. Maybe you could read about their career, their background, their story. So that would give you a lot of inspiration, my friends. So I thought it would add value for you to, go a little bit with each of them. The Helen is a co-founder of iRobot Corporation. Now, if you remember, if you watched keenly, one of the robotic companies that we put a list earlier was iRobot. So Helen is one of the co-founding member, and Rodney Brooks is again a co-founder at iRobot Corporation and the founder of Rethink Robotics. And Sebastian is a computer scientist and roboticist known for his work, especially the founder of Google X. Okay, and Cynthia, she is the founder and CEO of Zibo, and Gil Pratt, he is a very popular man at a Toyota Research Institution. And further, you have Raj Reddy, who is from an Indian origin, and this gentleman is acclaimed as a well-known roboticist for his contribution into the field of AI and robotics. And of course, he is a recipient of the Turing Award and has made significant contribution to robotics research and education. And of course, Hiroshi Ishiguro, you would have seen the picture earlier in, he is the director at the Intelligent Robotics Laboratory at Osaka University. And Mark Raibert is the founder of Boston Dynamics, and Daniela is the director of computer science and artificial intelligence laboratory at she's a director there at MIT. And Ayana is another popular person, robotics and chair of the school of interactive computing at George Tech. She's known her for work in assistive robotics. So these are just a handful of them. There are quite a few others who can help, who are the people who have been fairly successful in those fields in the area of robotics, and I'm sure you would find interesting. So my suggestion, my friends, take those clues, pick up those clues, do your due diligence, and then do your own research, talk to your mentor, counselor, and then make the decision. Thank you.
As you have seen, robotics is a highly collaborative and rapidly exploring field, offering a wide range of career opportunities for individuals with diverse backgrounds and diverse expertise and diverse skills. Doesn't matter what your interests are and what your background is, you still have a career that you may want to consider in the field of robotics. The field of robotics, the impact in robotics is already been felt in many industries and many sectors, and it has a lot of promising career opportunities. Whether you're interested in engineering, programming, research, or coding, innovation, doesn't matter. A career in robotics is waiting for you, which is incredibly rewarding and inspiring, which you can create impact to this world. We hope that this video has helped you to consider a significant career for yourself in the field of robotics and explore the dynamic world of robotics and consider numerous career paths that are waiting for you. If you have not started career exploration, if you have not made a decision yet, that information would serve you largely. My friends, the future of robotics is very bright, and there is a place for each one of you to shape yourself in it. And what are you waiting for it? Do your due diligence, as I always mention, and then consider a career in potentially in the field of robotics. Thank you for watching this video, and I hope this information that I shared in this video adds value to your context, to your knowledge, to your awareness, and I'm glad that you watched this video. So if you like that video, if that information has made sense to you, added some value to you, please do not forget to like, share, and subscribe, my friends. I'll come back with another video. Until then, do take care. Thank you.